friends. If you are here because you follow the Chris and Andrea online friendship, then you probably know that in April I picked 3 books for Chris to read and react to. And now she is returning the favor by picking 3 books for me to read and react to. By the way, that green thing is like a plant stem. I couldn't figure out where to prop my phone, so it's on top of a plant thing that Chris gave to me, coincidentally. But anyway, I'm not like nervous per se, because I don't think Chris would pick something that I would hate, but I have a feeling that one of them is going to be a romance, and it's probably going to be very wet. And the other one is probably going to be sci-fi or fantasy or some sort of speculative thing, because that is Chris's absolute favorite genre to read, and it's pretty much my bottom. All right, so I'm gonna hit play, turn up the volume, and time to see what she picked.
Hey Andrea, welcome to your summer TBR. Thank you for picking really good books for my spring TBR. So these are the books that I'm picking for you. Now remember the parameters. These are books that I'm fairly confident that you haven't read before. I'm fairly confident that you will enjoy or at least find interesting, and that I know that you can find in the library, so you don't have to spend any money on books. Now, the reason that I picked all of them, they're definitely like, I'm gonna call them deep cuts. Books that I read some time ago, but that I have never had the chance to talk about them with anyone, and books that explore a lot of the things that I like, and books that I don't think that you delve a lot into. Without further ado, here are my picks for your summer TBR. My first pick for your summer TBR is Winged Histories by Sofia Samatar. Sofia Samatar is an author that I think is really underrated. I loved her first book that came out several years ago. I listened to it on audiobook. It's called A Stranger in Andrea. And Winged Histories takes place in that kind of like book universe. And it's the story of these 4 women and how this like revolution that's happening in Andrea affects all of them. I don't want to tell you any more. It is a fantasy, but when you read it, I think that you will really enjoy Sofia Samatar's style of writing. She's just eloquent. Her sentences are like dripping with poetry. And I love this. I loved A Stranger in Andrea, but I love this book a lot more. The second book that I'm choosing for you is a science fiction book, another deep cut that I think about from time to time. And it is a book called The Sparrow by Mary Doria Russell. It is the story of a man who joins another group of scientists after they make first contact with an alien race, and they manage to travel to outer space to meet them. So for part of the story, you're in the present. The main character, who is Puerto Rican, is a Puerto Rican man. He has experienced something profound, and the story is told in like a series of flashbacks because he is asked to make an account of what happened. And so you find out what happens on this harrowing journey, and it's like a story about, you know, first contact, but with like bigger implications than that. And it's a story about communication and trauma, and communicating those traumas, and how that can be pretty cathartic. Anyway, I look forward to your thoughts. The last book that is on your summer TBR is a graphic novel, and it reads very fast, but when you get it, you're gonna see it's like a chonker of a book. It's called On a Sunbeam, and it's by Tilly Walden. I don't wanna spoil too much, but it's definitely queer, quiet, atmospheric, incredibly satisfying story. That's all I want to say. So yeah, those are my 3 picks for your summer TBR. I hope that you find them easily, can make your way through them easily, and if anything, that we can like sit down and talk about them. So yeah, Good luck. Love you.
Okay, so I was wrong. There was no romance. Well, although is On a Sunbeam a romance? It might be. I'm actually really intrigued by that one because I read another graphic novel of that author's, but I haven't read that one. So I'm fairly certain I will like that one. The other two books remains to be seen. Although I will be fair and say that the only science fiction and fantasy books that I have ever truly, truly loved with all my heart have been Chris' suggestions. So really, she has a pretty good track record. And hopefully these ones that she picked will join that list because Chris is very sensitive. And if I don't like these books, I don't know. I'm gonna have to fake it. I don't think she could take it if I hated them. So fingers crossed that I love all of these books, and I will update you all after I finish reading them.